Here is everything I taught in my intermediate / sort of advanced mat class tonight. We started with some plank walkouts as our warm-up. As we walk it back this last time, we come into a chair pose and we add some spinal rotations, which moves us into some chair pose squats. We hold it down on the last one and add some pulses. And then we go into one of my favorites, a twisted plank series. We place one foot in front of the other and walk yourself out into a plank, coming into your tiptoes. We pike our hips up and down, and then we're going to pulse that hip down toward the mat. Your bottom oblique is absolutely held prisoner in this move as we drive that bottom leg in toward the knee. We come down into our elbows and then we straighten out into a regular plank before popping up onto our hands and finally walking ourselves back. This one kills me. Next, we're placing just one foot on top of the block and going into some basic squats, adding in our second layer with a lateral step out. So we squat down, step out, step in, and then come back up to a standing position. Our third layer is a squat to a reverse lunge back to your squat, and we end it with a little pulse in that squat position. Next, we place both heels on top of the block, and we're going to go into those chair pose squats, which should feel familiar since we did these in the beginning of class, and we hold it down and pulse a little bit here as well. We're coming down into a 4-point kneeling position with one knee on top of the block. We float that other knee as we go into donkey kicks. Then we crunch through our core as we drive that knee in toward the opposite elbow and extend the leg back behind us. We hold that leg out long and add some lateral sweeps, tapping that toe out to the side before holding it back and giving me some pulses. Moving on to some supine core work, we're going to be in neutral spine, placing that block on top of our shins in tabletop, lifting our head and our shoulders for ab prep, and then we go straight into double leg extension with some overhead arm sweeps, switching the block between your hands and your shins. This next one is also another favorite of mine. We're going to be in a locked spinal rotation position as our elbow holds the block to one thigh while the other leg extends and crunches back into tabletop, and then we go right into a straight leg lift and lower. Next, in a seated position, supporting ourselves with our arms behind our back, we're just going to do some tabletop toe taps down onto the block, and then you'll tap your toes to each side of the block. And lastly, both feet come together and lift over the block side to side. Winding down our class here with a little bit of gentle prone work. Our palms press into the block overhead, and we just lift one palm at a time, and then we go into some chest lifts. Time for our tricep triple pulses. So arms are long by your side. You're going to beat your palms down toward the mat and then up toward the ceiling and then toward one another like you're squeezing a beach ball. And then I always end my classes with a little bit of weightless arms. So just some little arm circles in both directions here, and then we bring it forward and back. Then we bring those elbows toward one another and squeeze the shoulder blades together, ending with some bicep rotations with our extended arms. Let me know if you try it. Have fun.